Hello and welcome back to me. I've got an echo. Hang on. Turn the sound down. All good. Let's get you up on YouTube myself so I can see what's going on. Oh, I hate Android, but this is the Mrs.'s tablet. I will suss it in a second. Right. YouTube. Me. And we're there. Right, sorry about that. Okay, welcome back to Alclad2. Obviously, no one in here yet. I hope you can hear me okay if anyone's around. Nobody here. There you go. Right, so we have an update on the Herc. As you can see, she's finished. And I can only say I'm extremely pleased with the doors just falling off, but I did that for a reason. She's absolutely gorgeous. I did leave it so that we could... Hello, Cam. Cheers for the day, mate. Appreciate it. She's a big kit, but she worked out really, really well. I didn't do too much weathering to her, although I could have done, but I thought, nah, no need. But anyway, she's all finished and looking pretty good. Cheers, buddy. I say she's, for a £45 kit for this size, fantastic. Worth every penny of that money. And if you haven't got Hercules, which I didn't have for a while, it is well worth spending your £45 on. I know they're selling like hotcakes at the moment, so that's good. If you can hear a buzzing in the background, I would like to say that's the old girl, but it ain't. It's we've got massive power cuts around here tonight. Well, we've had them since Monday. Our house is the only house that's had power since Monday. I live in a row of 6 old mill cottages, and like I said, ours is the only house that had power. So everybody's running off generators, and that's what you can hear, if you can hear them. Hopefully, I mean, like you said, Cam, the mic didn't pick up the compressor very much, so hopefully it's not going to pick up this too much. But anyway, let me just go and put this out of the way for the moment so it's safe. I don't like leaving things around. I know you can hear me but can't see me. So that's good. Going to go over perhaps another couple of my old builds tonight, which we did. And we've also got the Buccaneer. I thought I'd turn, bear with me, let me just turn that autofocus off, if that's going to do it. Can't focus in, it looks all right there. It looks crappy on the actual feed, looks okay, but it just looks a bit poo on the, what do you call it? Let's lock that in. That's better. It should be all right now. Sorry about that. So yeah, so we've got Out at the moment, the Kinetic 148 Hornet C. The kit itself wasn't bad. She went together quite well. I was quite pleased with her. But the instructions were horrible. Miss call outs and all sorts of things. But that's something we get round. I mean, she's there. She looks good. She looks like a Hornet. Although the Meng 148 new version looks extremely good, and I hope to build that later on in the year. I put it on the wish list of Hannets, so hopefully when that come out we'll have that on the desk. That's one. And then we have, which was the Eddard limited edition version, but this is the Dragon. Love it or hate it, your choice. My opinion is I love it. Always have loved the Dragon. This is the plane I remember as a kid seeing the Saab videos as we grew up. Again, this is the Hasegawa kit with the special bits by Eddard or Edward, whichever you want to call it. Was very impressed with the kit that went together really well. So yeah, again, if you want Hasegawa, if you want if you want a Dragon, then I can only say the Hasegawa kit is one to buy. But like I said, that was the limited edition version from Eddard. Liked it, got on really well with it. It literally fell together. So that's that. Now I think I finished the Hercules on, when would that have been? That would have been the Friday evening, and then we went straight into the Buccaneer, which I did a review on, which is on my channel, when I got it last Thursday, and this went on the bench on Saturday. And this is how far we've got with this. Again, Airfix have really upped their game over the last few years. It needs some work just to tidy up some bits and pieces, but as a kit, it's fantastic. The seats are all done, everything's ready. This hopefully will be on the bench to be painted at some point this week. The way they did this kit, sandwiching the top of the wings to the bottom, was fantastic. It's not, so you don't get no seam lines on the front, nothing on the rear. It's really nice, and again, as I said, it falls together. Something that Airfix have grown a bit synonymous with lately. Their Spitfires, they brought out their 109 that they did. What else was there? The Hellcat. All the newer Toulons, they're all very good kits, and nothing that I've heard is bad about them. Again, this is really nice. As I said, all the parts are built. We're going to do this as a Desert Storm version. So it was used in Desert Storm. I've done my research for a change. It was used in Desert Storm for bomb and runs for the Tornadoes. It actually carried the laser guiding equipment. That's all it did. It did have bombs. I don't think they were ever dropped. I'm not 100% sure. But the wing points, the hard points on this are configured literally for the way it was used in Desert Storm. So it's pleasing because I can use the Desert Pink on it. The Alclad, what is it, 12 ALCE 024 Desert Sand or Desert Pink. And I've always liked that color, using that color, so that's what it's going to be. Right, so the reason behind these videos, as you know, is Q&As. Don't be shy. Ask what you like. And if I can do it in front of you and show you what to do, I'll do it. If not, I'll set it up for next week and we'll go from there. This week we're a little bit later. I do the power cut outside. I was hoping they were going to be done and finished, but they're not. I said the generator's bugging me, something rotten. But you know, if you like I say, if you've got questions, ask. Don't be shy. There's 4 of you, 3 or 4 of you in there now. I'm quite happy to answer whatever you like. And if I can physically do it in front of you, I'll do it to show you how to do it. Although one thing we do have issues with is how to use the clear coats. Again, I've had 5 or 6 emails pass my way. Oh, they're still sticky after 2 weeks and this, that and the other. Yeah, they will be if you blast them. They're not designed to be blasted. They're not like acrylics where you can really blast the heck out of them to get a gloss finish and it dries in a couple of days. To do the clear coats, it's fairly simple. They literally need to be misted on at a low air pressure. So you build it up gradually, and it's a patience thing that I've found with most people. People just want to. We're a society nowadays where we've got to do it, and it's done, finished, and it's in the cabinet in a week. Well, I remember the days of Humbrol paint when you used to use a brush. I'd never heard of an airbrush back then. And you used to spray them, brush paint them, and a week later they'd still be damp or feel tacky because it's the thickness of the paint. Now, what the problem is that if you lay it down too thick, it forms a barrier so the air or oxygen cannot reach the underneath. This is where the issues happen. You need to be a little bit less heavy-handed with the old airbrush and use mist coats and build up the finish that you want gradually. I mean, with the matte clear coat and the satin clear coat, which was the oh God, I forgot some up there, light sheen, which is now satin, and you got the matte, and just a clear gloss. But you know, it's just be patient with it, and it'll work as well as any of these glosses that you use. And it's the same with all of them, not just the gloss. You just want a little bit at a time. Don't splash it. It's not like you're throwing it at the model. This isn't even going to need any, isn't. You got to remember, I'm Norfolk, so I tend to speak a little bit different, and I have my own dialect that I will go back into now and again. I don't mean to, but that's the way I am. I was born less than a mile from where I'm sitting, and I now work less than a mile. So, you know, I've literally come back home. But that's looking good. Right, yeah. So, if you've got questions, just type them in the chat. I've got the I've got the wife's tablet in front of me. I must get myself one again. And I'll answer anything I can if you ask me directly. As I said, if I can't answer it straight away and you want to be shown, I don't mind setting it up for next week. If I can, I'll do it this week. It's just having different parts. I think, you know, the best way to answer the clear coat emails that I get is literally to copy and paste what I write to everybody. But I don't do that. I do answer every single one individually. And it takes a little time, to be honest. But I don't mind. Now, the other big question, obviously, is Telford going to be on this year? Of course, we'd like to think so. Personally, I can't see it happening. I think my personal opinion, and this is only me, I believe that we won't be ready for it. I think these other variants that are coming in will put stop to it. Not because of the UK, because by then we should all have our jabs, or jabs in the arms as they call them, or whatever. But my personal opinion is it'll be too early for Spain, Italy, Portugal, Germany, where I would say 70% of the people come from who submit their wares there. As you'd be surprised how many, I'm not going to say foreign, but there are a lot of companies that come over here, like Revel Germany, Zugamuri, who always have a stand opposite us. There are a few others that come. I just don't think that everything can be lifted by then. But I hope we do. We missed it last year. Last year, it would have been my birthday on the Saturday. My birthday's always around that time. The year before, we spent it with our Belgian friends, and it was fantastic. And I missed those guys. I think we all did. And we speak to them regular, but it's not the same as actually meeting up for a pint or a whiskey in my place. I don't drink a lot of beer. Bloats me out, makes me fall over a lot. But yeah, so let's hope it does go ahead. It would be fun. The Alclad guys love it. We have a good weekend. It's nice to get all the guys together so that we can have some decent discussions about how to go forward. Like I said, I really do hope it goes ahead. I'm not being a naysayer. I just think that's my thoughts. I just think we will be waiting. And 2022, yeah, 100%. This year, we're pushing it. Plus, it's the organisation that goes behind it. It's not just the people like us who turn up at the weekend and get on with it. The organisation behind it is very time consuming. They have to make what you call it early, and I believe at the moment that the Telford Exhibition Centre is a vaccine centre, so they would have to shut that down. And we're talking, what Boris is saying, July, then I'll be 3 months to get the next one, so it's going to be touch and go if we get there or not. Like I said, we all miss it. We all miss meeting you all again face to face. But there you go. So, like I said, if you've got any questions, please ask. This is what this is all about. If not, I'm just going to sit here and fiddle with a buccaneer for an hour. Cam, can you hear that generator in the background? If you're still there, mate. Because it's bugging me. Obviously, I can hear it a lot worse than probably it's coming through the mic. But it'll be handy to know. Hello, Darren. How you doing? Nice to see you, fella. How's things with you? Just up the road. Good win today, boy. Needed that. No, I weren't watching it. I was listening to it. Hence, I started late today. It was nothing to do with the football. Well, I wish it was. So, yeah. Nah, nice to hear it. Cool. I see they shut part of the, well, not shut it down. The farmers decided that they're not going to let people go at the end of the, or up from the viewing area, round towards the farm. People have been jumping the gate, so they're not very happy. So we lost that chance of getting up there now and getting a good view. But not the view in that area itself, just that up that lane. Although personally, I've never been up there. Perhaps I should have done. Now I won't ever get the chance again. There's always a few people. The minority spoils it for the majority. But the farmer's fed up. He's had enough, and that's it. We're not going up there no more. Or they're not going up there no more. That's it. I've actually got hands that look like they've done some work for a change. I've even had to get the Nivea out tonight because they got dried up. We had our first large lot of wood we had to put away today, and it ended up being have to be handballed because it was such a big stack. And the poor old forklift couldn't handle it, which is a shame, but that's the way it goes. So I spent 2 hours lugging wood and a shiver go in and out. It's great to get your hands dirty again. But there you go. You don't want to hear about my life story. So, what we're going to do, we've got the Buccaneers on the go. I have a F-16 here for Mr. McBurr. Should be flying its way down to him as soon as lockdown's finished, and then he'll be building that. He says he's never built an F-16, so that should be interesting. I built the 148 and the 132nd. In fact, I built two of those, and I know how good it is, and I know how spoiled he's going to be when he does it. Because once you build one of those, a good Tamiya kit, you never want to build nothing else, and you do get spoiled. But as he said to me while I was building the Kinetic, yeah, very, very good kit. He's got the adversary version, which is one I built a while ago. I did it in the blue, and actually someone bought it off me at Telford, which was my first. I couldn't believe it when he asked me, but there you go. It's a fantastic kit. Don't know what colour he's going to do it in. I like the green, brown, and sand. I did mine in the blue and white. So we'll just have to wait and see what he comes up with. I'm not sure if the Tamiya one was downsized from the 32nd or was upsized from the 48 to the 32nd, but either way, brilliant, brilliant kit. Haven't built a Spitfire in a while, which is a surprise for me. I see young Fred Foot's Lancaster is coming on really, really nicely and looking extremely good. He's done a lovely job of it. He's finding how hard doing lives can be. Oh yeah, I'd build another one tomorrow. I really would. It's just, I think if my mojo went down, my builder mojo went down, then that would be the kit to get me back into it. It is such a cracking kit. Again, it's expensive, but then is it? What is it? About £55, I believe, to buy standard Tamiya version, and then you'll spend £76 on the F14, which I have up there somewhere behind me. Do we pay more than we should? I don't think we do. Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think that the F16, the F14, they're a little higher priced. But then this was not a child, it was a youngster's hobby back when I first started. I mean, 1970, 72, 71, 72, when I started, a Spitfire was pocket money prices. This Buccaneer, I think, is £26 to buy retail. I don't know many kids that get 26 quid a week for their pocket money anymore. But then we used to just build them. We didn't paint them. We put the decals on, or the stickers, whatever you want to call them. We put the decals on, stickers on, hang them on a line from the ceiling, and we'd be happy. But as you get older, you want to do more. And I guess it's not. Do we think it's out of the realm now of the youngsters' hobby market, or are we in a position now where this isn't a hobbyist, a youngster's hobby anymore? It's more, let's see, the middle-aged man who get not a crisis. I'm not going to say it's a crisis because they're in a crisis, a midlife crisis, but you've got. I mean, £76 for a kit. If you gave your son or daughter a tenner a week, that's nearly 2 months to save up for that kit. Yeah, it's worth it. Like you say, Darren, they are worth it. But would a youngster have? But do you think so with the prices nowadays, Darren? Do you really think that we? I mean, yeah, the ones you get out of Lidl or Aldi for £4.99 for a Spitfire is fantastic. I mean, that's a terrific little kit. The Messerschmitt, I think it was the Kitty Hawk they did out, the P40, sorry, the one or two, the Hellcats, the little smaller Hellcats, for £4.99. That's the way to start the children off. £15 normal starter kit price. All right, you get all the paint with them and the brush, stuff fantastic. We never got that when we were young. I know you're a lot younger than me, Darren, but I think mine was the bags, the blue Spitfires, were about 29 pence a time at mine when I was young, at that age. And I get 4 kits on my birthday be built before I went to school. But then we never had snippers. We twisted all the stuff off the sprues. We glued it together with poly cement. We didn't have Tamiya extra thin. We had money to the hobby. You get a decent airbrush nowadays. I'm saying a decent one. I don't mean to be. Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I mentioned them. I know there's a lot of controversy, obviously, about buying those kits because our local hobby shops aren't getting the money they used to get, and then Lidl and Aldi aren't helping. But for the youngsters to get into the hobby and then go to the model shops, get an interest, and then move on to the local model shops, is brilliant. I mean, I live near a small town called Bungay in Suffolk. You know where it is, Darren. But I can remember there were one, two, three, four. There were four shops that stocked Airfix kits. Not Revell, not Tamaya. They did start doing the old Novo kits. I wasn't overly impressed with them. This is going to go on and off again in a few seconds. I'm not 100% how long it'll be, but it won't be too long. But all those shops are gone. There's not one shop in town that sells the kits, sells any kits at all. I'm spoiled, same as you, Darren. We're not far. You've got Kerrison's, Langley's. Who else you got? The city. A few others that do them, and of course you've got a half an hour ride to, or an hour's ride to Hannant's, which when before COVID, pre-COVID, you could walk in and sit there, stand there all day and walk round all day, and just look at different kits all day long, not be hassled by anybody, and just enjoy looking. But now we've lost that to COVID. Hopefully it'll come back. But it's not going to come back into the shops, into the local hobby shops. Was there Mike Jolly? He's got a fantastic shop. Nikki, the Vitrainus, she had a bricks and mortar shop, and she's now gone to purely online. I mean, I refuse to order any kits from abroad anyway. Yeah, I took Mick Burr in there once when he first came up here about 8 or 9 years ago. I took him in there, and he had £300 in his pocket, and he bought one kit because there was too many to choose from. You have to know what you're looking for if you walk in there. You can walk in there and you can spend all day, I mean, looking up there. To give anybody else who's never been to the Hannants in Lowestoft a sort of an idea how big it is, there used to be a Jaguar, a full-size 1-to-1 scale Jaguar, and also a Hawker Harrier in the actual warehouse. Now that's gone, and it's now those two are gone, and there's just full of kits now, what's left of it. But that's all, that area has been taken up by resin parts, CMK, Aries, what have you. But I love going up there. I'm quite friendly with Adrian. I was very friendly with the gentleman who passed away, Mr. Hannon. He passed away a couple of years ago now, bless him. He helped us out with Round the World and Airfix kit. I think he donated the kit. He also donated kits for, what you call it, for another build we did. Oh no, it was a giveaway. Talking of giveaways, if Rob, I don't think Rob is on here, but if he was, I'm sure he'd be happy. We'll probably do a giveaway next week, starting next week. If we can get over 10 people in here, I'm going to start doing a giveaway, which will be, he's got to love me for this, something like, I don't know, a set of 3 colours, which the early and late RAF, or some German colours, whichever. I think that would be a good plan. I'm sure he'd be happy with that. By the coach. Oh, yeah. He had one Harrier was left in there and the other one went, but a Jaguar was in there as well, if I remember correctly. I'm sure it was a Jag. We're not far from Coltshaw. How you doing, Simon? Nice to see you, mate. Well, not see you, but you know. The place is amazing. There you go. She's gone off. She'll come back on again. She's now going to... That's better. That's that bit. That's half an hour done. So yeah, Hannon's is a terrific place. It is my local model shop now. There is one just up the road at Beccles, but he doesn't stock a great deal. He does stock Revell, doesn't stock Tamiya or anything like that. But then the overheads of these shops nowadays, they can't afford to stock a lot. But that's the way it go, I guess. Right, so I keep fiddling with this Harry. I'm trying to get that rear end to fit perfectly, which it will do. Harrier, Buccaneer. That in 1/48 scale would be gorgeous. You say by the coach, do you mean by the couch or by the... I mean, hello, Roger. How you doing, my friend? Nice to see you, mate. Don't worry about being late, fella. That's one of those things. I was late tonight. So new job. Had to finish something off. Hence I was an hour late tonight, but that can't help that. It's going to be between either 7 and 8 or 8 and 9. I'm going to call it 8 and 9. It takes the pressure off me at work. So if I say 8 and 9, then we should be well in. And we'll cause no more hassles. Now, things that are coming from Alclad at the moment. We spoke last week about the tinlets. We've got no further news on those at the moment. The tinlets themselves, I believe, have been sourced. That was the major issue, getting the actual tins. We have the paint to fill them. It's getting the tins and how we're going to fill them, because I know a gentleman who runs another company who has been looking for a tinlet filler for a long, long while, and they're just not available anymore. And if they are, they're silly money. Now, excuse me, I just need a quick sup. Whoa. I'm on my hard stuff tonight. We're getting that Coca-Cola out. I'm not a drinker. I just like a can of Coke now and again. I'll put these away for a second. Doodly-doo. So every kit that I build, they're all paint with Alclad. I don't use any other paint apart from detail work, which I use a little bit of acrylic for a brush. But this is a little tip that I was given the other week. I tend to have a lot of painkillers to suffer from a bad shoulder. So I have these. Now if you take all the silver off the back, like that, then as you press them out, and you get a paintbrush and just push them out, it's fantastic when you're detailing, just to tip a little bit of paint in. It doesn't spill everywhere, and you can use them individually. Now, I come across this tip on one of the forums the other week, and I must admit that's all I ever do now is use these. Great just for tipping a little tiny bit of paint in for your detail work, rather than I used to put a bit of tape, masking tape, down on the bench or on the cutting mat and then pour a little out, and that dries out so quick. And these doesn't seem to dry so fast. So that's a little tip. Not mine, not my idea. I can't remember the gentleman's name. I can't give you his name to say thank you to, but he's a good guy. So what we done, we'll go with, I'll go over the Buccaneer a little bit. We done the cockpit. She was painted in black, primed in black, as I always do. Alclad black primer and microfiller, Alclad2. Rob would be proud. Remember the numbers. I'm a colour person. I'm not a number person. So that was done, and then we used what we got. Dark sea grey in the cockpit. Then that was done with my own wash that I make out of Aquagloss, actually. Bit of a cheat. With some Indian ink. Well, not Indian ink. It's the old-fashioned Parker's ink. Just to give it a little bit of highlight and dirt effect. Where's Roger? If you're still there, Rog, guess what I found? I meant to tell you. That was right in front of me all that time. So the bottle's still there. I had that bottle for about 4 or 5 years. So you can see how much I've used it. I used it once and that's it. It'll never get used again. But I found it the other day and I thought, I'll keep that out for when you turn up. So it's there. If you want it, mate, you can have it. Because to me, it's horrible. Was Humbrol Deckle Fix. I actually thought it was Revell. But there you go. But didn't do any good for me. Yeah, I'm finding I've got loads and loads of oils. But I have all the Alclad washers as well, which they're all up here in front of me. I'll give you a tour next week of what the actual place is like. It's not a big room, but it does me. But I have all the oil washers and I make my own stuff up if I need it. If I haven't got the right colours, but we do all our own washers. They're pretty good. But if I'm 100% honest, oh, you got it. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, I did the windows in the Hercules. That was done with the micro crystal clear. Yeah, cool. I hope they're easy to use. Just put the set on first, put your decal on, let it settle, rub it out with a cotton wool bud or a Q-tip, and away you go. But I actually did the windows on the Hercules, which I've now put away up there, with this, and that's dried perfectly how I wanted it to. They're crystal clear. You can see right through in the insides because the inside is all painted. Coach size. Oh, really? Oh, didn't know that, Simon. I keep forgetting you're local as well. You got Darren who's local, yourself. Yeah, it was a shame. I remember them going. I was actually working at a computer shop just at the top of Harbour Road when it went, and I remember it going, and it was quite gut wrenching to see it leave. And in fact, that day, I think I went down there and bought 2 motorcycles, which Tamiya ones, on a whim. And I never did build them. In fact, I gave them to a very, very good friend of mine to build, who's lately passed. He passed away about 6 or 7 years ago. He built them. Never did paint them. Good guy. But yeah. So put your blue set down first. A little bit into your water. That'll help it start to soften. Not a Feathers Vesda decals because that'll just make them scringe. As I did with the walkways, I ended up having to spray them. And then once you've got all the air out and everything's on, little tiny, just a fine coat of Sol at a time, and it will blend itself well in. The only ones that can be a pain in the butt are Tamiya decals, which are can be very thick, although I have found a few that are okay. and then you use a little. Once everything is dry, you mustn't do it wet, whatever you do, but a little bit of Tamiya X20A, and they will conform. But one touch, just one go over, and let it 100% dry before you do another one, or it will take off the ink from the decal. Believe me, I've done it myself. So be very careful. But that's only on really thick decals like Tamiya. Nowadays, Airfixers, Academies, Zvezda. I keep saying Zvezda. I'm so impressed with that Hercules. The Zvezda itself, the Hercules, is fantastic. Edard's new decals now. I've only used them once, and I hated them. Don't know why. I just couldn't get on with them. I ended up getting some aftermarket sets. Since they've changed, I haven't bought another Edard kit, or been bought for me, I should say. I rate Edard kits as possibly in my top. Well, they're in the top 3, if I have to say that. And Zvezda newer kits, they're in the top 3 as well with Airfix. I mean, we all grew up on Airfix, as we all know. Just watch them, Darren. If they're the newer versions, the newer kits, just watch what you're doing with them. Watch some YouTube videos on how to place them down properly and how they worked. I think Paolo Portesi's done a lot of them. There's a few of the guys who work all with Edard who have done them, and they show them how to do them perfectly. To be honest, Roger, at the moment, I don't know. I don't have anything to do with that side, but I will have a definitive answer for you next weekend or next Wednesday. Without speaking directly to Rob, and Rob is an extremely busy man. He works long hours putting all this paint out, and he creates the paint there at work with some others, but he is extremely busy. So I will speak to him during the week or weekend, and I will ask him that very question for you, Roger, and I'll have a definitive answer for you next Wednesday. But hopefully the sooner the better. There are some hurdles, let's say. There's a lot of our stuff that has been sent to Europe that is stuck in customs and have been for a month, 6 weeks now, which is not very good as far as I'm concerned. I'm not getting into that argument, but there you go. It's the way it is. I can't change that personally. So, but I will have a definitive answer for you. The sooner we can get it over, the better. Yeah. Well, this is it. You never know. Like I said, if I could get them over to you, I'll get you a set over, or not a problem. I don't know how we can do it at the moment. I mean, my cousin was going to send me a box from the States with some birthday presents and bits and pieces for me and the kids, and it was going to cost her $1,200 to send a parcel from the US at this time because of COVID, which is absolutely hideous. I know the set you need for the 110. It would be RLM 71, 72, and 65. See, I'm a colour man. I'm not a numbers man. Which is either 65 pale blue, which is hellblau, pale blue. Oh, right, okay. But yeah, we got the whole set now, or nearly the whole set, and they're selling very, very well. But if you, like I said, if you think there's colours that we haven't got in our sets that we want, we're short of, let us know. Even metallics will do. I mean, Alclad was born on metallics. Perhaps next week I'll do a setup so we can show you how to paint chrome or how to do a high shine metallic. You know, I said last week we should soon have the soft titanium and titanium coming out for engine nozzles. It's going to look fantastic. We've all done our bit testing it now. We're all happy with it. The new high shines, which don't scratch off now, which are fantastic. So it should all be good. But yeah, and the sooner we can get shipped to the EU, the better. Right. At the moment, that's just not possible. We're going to lose too many customers and too much product. But we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, we supply MiG ammo with a lot of metallics, and I think one of their big shipments is hung up in customs at the moment in Spain, which is such a shame, considering all the hours that Rob puts into it. They don't order 1 or 2 bottles at a time. So if you ever tried MiG ammo metals, you'll see that Alclad is actually marked on the bottles. But it's quite strange at the moment because we've got about 100 different colours of mil-spec paint, and to be honest, I don't know what else to add. Mind you, these are all aircraft colours. There are a few ARV colours, but not many. Yeah, I'll let you know. As soon as I know, Roger, you will, mate. We could do with the ARV colours. I'm not an ARV specialist. We've got car guys in here, and most of us are aircraft guys. We could do with an ARV guy to give us what they need. So if you've got an idea for colours, leave a message at the bottom of this. I'll read it. I'll let you know what we think. If we go with it, perhaps we'll send you a couple of bottles, you know, to test. The idea is to build a good quantity of mil-spec, but although it's quantity, we want to keep the quality as high as we possibly can. Most of the formulas are being changed to a newer formula, which are made on the premises. We've changed the formula of clear coat. I actually haven't got any of the clear coats here at the moment. You'll find when they come through, they'll have a slightly yellow tinge to them. That's just a carrier. It's not an issue. It will evaporate off and leave a clear coat. So that was another question. Why is my new bottle of clear coat slightly different to my old bottles, which it was clear, but now they've got a yellow tinge? Then I can see that's microfiller. Excuse me. You can see, hopefully, you can see they've got a slightly yellow. If I put them behind that, you'd probably be able to see it better. It's got a slightly yellow tinge. That's just the carrier. It will evaporate. The actual thing inside it is absolutely brilliant. It's no different. The carrier again is just a yellow tinge, that's all. But with this stuff, I mean, I never ever had an issue with it from the day I used it. But so many people do. It's quite, how can I put it, a little bit odd, but there you go. So yeah, that's that. For you armor guys, now, as you can see, when armor is primed, it's primed in red oxide. People have been asking for this for a lot of years. We had it made and we sell very little of it, which is weird. This, although it's unlabeled, this was my test bottle. I don't do ARVs, or I haven't done a lot of them, so I haven't used it. But if you've got anybody who does an ARV, we've got the red oxide primer. They're in the 60 milliliter bottles. We changed to glass bottles because the plastics, we've got to be nice to Mr. Polar Bear, which, excuse me, I totally agree with. I've still got some 307 airbrush cleaner in the old plastic bottle from years ago. You can see what it does to the label. I've used it and used it and used it. They always give me airbrush a finish clean off with it. But yeah, I mean, let us know. Colours, metals, whatever you feel good. Right, well, it's been an hour. I'm going to call it a night. Please share this about if you're interested. We'll do a giveaway. If we get 10 people in chat next week, we'll do a giveaway. We get 20 people after the week after, we'll do a giveaway. And we'll go up and up. Oh, hang on. The CR3. Oh, this baby. Nope, that's the other one. The CR3 is this one. To be honest, I had a problem with my HPC Plus, and well, it was needle and a cap went. Some idiot dropped it, and it smashed both the needle and the end of the cap. So that was an expensive accident. But I used the CR3 for a good 3-4 months. It's as good today as the day I got it. I keep it nice and clean. It's ideal for using with a 2.2 needle. It's ideal for using mil-spec. I did find it was a bit of a bugger with the primer because it's a 0.2 needle. I like a 0.3. That's why I used the Badger, because it's got a 0.3 in. That feels like it will good clean. But yeah, I have no problem with that. But with this, it's beautiful. And I've used that for 3 months. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the cup, but on the cheaper brushes, that cup changes colour to a brassy inside. The chrome gets wore off. But this is, what, a year old now? And it has hot thinners all the time through it, and the chrome is still there. It's perfect. I still use it a lot. It is my second go-to brush. My HPC is my best, well, not my best brush. My best brush is the TR1. But this is absolutely superb. I can't recommend this anymore for doing anything. Oh, ideal, because if you do an aircraft, 0.3 is absolutely 100% fine. I've got the 0.2 that came with this. As I said, worked fantastic with the paints because the primer microfiller has got a slight. It's got a touch of. I always forget the name, Mr. Surfacer sort of stuff, and it does tend to block slightly. But then it's just a case of blowing it out and starting again. But yeah, brilliant brush for the price. I rate it higher than the Harder and Steenbeck, not the Ultra, the Evolution, which is about the same price, I believe. Fantastic. Right, that's it. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Oh, hello. Yeah, that's a bit easy, bit different. Revel Aqua Colour's okay if you get it the right thickness. But we cheat because these are all ready to go. Right, guys, Roger, Northern Up, and everybody else out there, Simon, Darren, it's good to see you guys. I hope you join us again. Like I say, if we can get 10 people in here plus next week, I'll do a giveaway. Rob's going to love me for that, but hey ho. I hope you're all good. Have a safe week, and it will be 8 till 9. I can't do the 7 till 8. It puts too much pressure on me. So I'm going to say 8 till 9. I know I can't go wrong. Have a good one, and we'll all see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.